crap. What happened? Oh, it's working. Yeah, so it's October, if I remember correctly, and it's the 11th.
Yeah, last I checked.
Eh, what do you know? We're actually recording again after missing it like, is it 2 or 3 times this time?
Let's go with 2/3 and be safe.
2.5, good enough. So yeah, due to reasons we haven't have yet been able to record. So me actually pushing the record button I see as a step in the right direction. Um,
Yeah,
yeah, I mean it's silly, really. We're just trying to sit down for an hour every other Sunday and record, and apparently it's a bit too hard for us to do.
all of those obligations, you can't stop them.
Yeah, probably something along those lines. Let's go with that. Yeah. uh, yeah, it's life. What can you do about it? So how you doing, Tassie?
I'm doing all right. Uh, I don't sound weird, do I?
No, not at all.
What a good time to bring that up.
Yeah, we're real professional here. Just do the checkup as we start recording. It's the way to go.
Ah,
So yeah,
so yeah.
what you been doing since we talked last time?
Well, I hope that was just something of mine. I've recently managed to, well, there's a few games I've beaten between here and now. I beat NES Remix and Splatoon single player, but
Go
that was
you.
so long. Yeah, that was a while ago. So aside from playing a whole bunch of Mario Maker, and there's two things I guess I might as well want to talk in a teeny bit of detail, and that's one, I managed to beat Sonic 3 and Knuckles the whole way through.
Ooh, that's
It
that's good work there. Mostly because I suck at Sonic games.
I like the I like Sonic 3 and Knuckles I think it's like it's close to, I think it's like on par with Sonic 2 pretty much. But I guess I kind of everything there is fits a lot better with Sonic speed than like Sonic 1 does.
Mm-hmm.
And it says something that you have a game that's basically two games and you can play it all the way through, and it doesn't feel necessarily like it gets stale. Like there's something that you feel like you've played through once before.
Mm-hmm.
Especially since the initial idea was to have both of them as the same game. But yeah, it can get kind of tough, but nothing that you can't manage if if you get like a whole bunch of lives and a bit of perseverance.
Ah, okay. Yeah, if I remember correctly, I think I always get stuck on the fifth boss in Sonic and Knuckles, something along there. Or is it Sonic 3 I'm thinking about?
Um, I'm gonna have to think about which one that is. The bosses are actually kind of, they're simple to kind of figure out once you get the pattern, but it can be kind of difficult to take. They're not like incredibly easy to figure out and then like defeat. Like I remember hearing like Lava Reef Zone's boss is like, people are like say, oh well, if you just get like the flame shield, and if you get hit, you can just go supersonic or hypersonic. But I actually had a bit of trouble with that boss because if you don't have the flame shield, you can't wait it out with hypersonic. So you do need that like flame shield to really, like, especially if you're not very good at jumping.
Ah, okay, yeah. I think that's what bother me the most with those games is that they have this tendency to I'm used to the physics they run in Mario games. It's I would say Sonic the physics in Sonic games is a bit more slippery.
With reason. Like they want you to go fast, and to be fair, I appreciate that they like account for that most of the time in Sonic 2 and 3 when they like go against that and basically go here have some tiny platforms. Most of the time they have it over like a floor that you can just land on and then go back to where you were before.
Yeah.
There, I just don't like Sonic 1 that much because it's not even like you get to the third stage and it's like here have some platforms that move around over lava. Have fun with that.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that level.
Fair enough. The only other thing I want to like cover right now is that recently in the Gentleman's Challenge topic on VGF, I accepted I'm currently playing through Pokemon Blue, which is like Generation 1 for yeah, like it's Generation 1 Pokemon.
Okay, it isn't the remake.
No, I didn't I could have played the remake and saved myself a lot of the weird nuances that Generation 1 has. Like, I think, like, for instance, Focus Energy doesn't work, Psychics are nigh unbeatable, Bite is a normal type.
Yeah, the balancing issues.
There's a lot of typing, like a lot of Pokemon that aren't like even in Gen 3 that were not like that aren't what they are now. Like Electrode and Magnemite are just pure electric type rather than steel at all, and like certain moves are not what they were in the games. And and like speed is your critical rate.
Yeah, I think that was the problem with me as I skipped Generation 3 and started on the generation after that. That I kind of have a gap in the logic. So when I get a new Pokemon game, I need to relearn everything from the ground up, just because this should work this way, and then I try it and get my ass handed to me, and realize, something is terribly wrong here. I better check it up.
This Clefairy over here, it's pretty weak. I remember beating it really easily. Let me throw my Dratini out. It'll probably just take it out in one hit. And wait, what's this Moonlight thing? Why did it kill it in one hit? What's fairy?
I made a terrible mistake. Yeah, so,
but
that's
sorry.
Yeah.
Most of the reason I picked blue over like leaf green or something like that was because for a long time I have been kind of a little reactionary towards people who usually go like, "Oh, Gen 1's the best. All the other Pokemon suck. This like rock with arms was stylized and special and new, and the garbage bag is totally different and bad."
No. Generation 1 was far from great.
It was good for the time. Well, I guess
I would say so, but if you look at the coding, it's just a horrible mess.
But I'm looking to play through it myself because aside from playing it when I was a kid, I got into Generation 2, not 1, because I learned about Pokemon at summer camp when everybody else had it and I didn't. And I would only get games twice a year, so I rarely got games except on my birthday and Christmas. So Pokemon Blue, Red, and like Yellow sped right past me, but I was completely on the hype train for 2, and I got that when I got the chance.
Yeah, I remember my brother managed to get he got Yellow on the Christmas, and before that we managed to get me and my brother is kind of the same age, so I got I got Pokemon Red and he got Pokemon Blue. It was it was really it was a good combination because all of a sudden we had games both could play and kind of work together. Also, hello Shendu, how are you doing?
I'd be more better if I wasn't lagging at the moment, but other than that, I'm perfectly fine. What are you two up to?
Recording podcast.
Cool.
Yeah, so
Very nonchalant.
It sounds like Shendu's tired. Oh well. So
Shendu's always fucking tired.
Yeah, but you're one of those people that actually take part in making the civilization a better place to be.
Oh wait, were you serious?
Uh, nah, you know me. I can't really go
Fuck
that.
civilization. It can burn for all I fucking care.
Okay. Oh. Anyway, on with the topic. So, Pokemon Blue, how's it going?
I've made a little bit of progress, but I've gotten 3 badges. Surprisingly, if you have like a Pokemon with Dig, Search is a joke, like an absolute joke.
Because
Yeah.
Dig is broken. Plus, I believe all of his Pokemon are weak against ground attacks anyway.
Yes.
Well, yeah, but I didn't like to such a degree. It was amazing, but it's strange how like with Misty, I was so worried that I was gonna get like. I actually did have some problem with Misty, but Surge was just kind of easy. So, like right now, I'm just going back to Cerulean City to go through the rock tunnel with Flash. But I'm making decent progress for the moment. I think I'll be able to hit the date by. I'll be able to hit the 28th, which is like the end of the Gentleman's Challenge. Hopefully.
Yeah, you have some time still to do that. And I mean, it's Pokemon Blue. You can cheese that whole game and still make good time.
Obviously. It's a little more difficult
What kind
than
of Pokemon
more
do you roll?
recent games. It's definitely more. It's easier than recent games, but no, wait, no, fuck me. It's more difficult than recent games, but it's still manageable. I don't really want to make like a full-on opinion until I've beaten the game, but right now I do think that it's still a solid game regardless of its glitches. It's just that the other games improved upon a lot of it.
Yeah, I would say it have developed charm over the years more than anything.
Shendu underscore demo moved to Gaming 3.
Oh, and there would Shendu. Well, that was a quick visit by him.
And I hope I wasn't imposing.
No,
But
no, that's Shendu in a nutshell. He's always cranky.
So on the other hand, what have you been doing, Jer?
Yeah, what I've been doing, I've been working my ass off, basically. I've been trying to get up at around 6 to be at work at 7, making house foundations for a big apartment complex.
Oh yeah, I can kind of sense how that feels.
Yeah, I'm not a morning person, absolutely not. And me going up, trying to wake up earlier than 7 in the morning is like trying to get water from rocks. It's not going to fucking happen most of the days, but I try.
Right.
Yeah, and last Friday I had to get up at 5. That was a fun experience, kinda, or something. I don't know. But
You do what you have to.
yeah. But anyway, I managed to visit my little brother, who lives in my old apartment down the coast, and I managed to pick up a game, a real physical copy. It's been like years since I actually had one of those new. So I managed to find a copy of Fantasy Life, and I have a problem
yeah.
because I can't really stop playing the bloody game. I need to sleep in the evenings, but then I pick that thing up and can't stop.
Yeah. Yeah, I've heard that's like a combination of what, like it was like an like an RPG and Animal Crossing.
It is, and that's why I freaking love it.
Right. That does
I'm-
sound like a dangerous combination.
Yeah, I have my still have my little tiny attic room. I'm thinking of moving out, and I'm shopping lumber like crazy and selling it on the market, and I get fair pay for it. So it's nice. If a bit how do you say? Yeah, it's a bit addictive. I did the bulk of the playing on a 4-hour long car trip Then I had to stop because the battery ran out, and now I think I had, since last week, I think I played 2 hours on it. But then again, 2 hours for me in the evenings, it's kind of a lot of playing, just because I'm doing much work at the same time. So I come home dead tired and doesn't feel like doing much anything.
Yeah, I understand.
Yeah. And what else? Bit of War Thunder. A bit of what's that puzzle game called? They released on Steam Honey Pop.
Oh, that game.
Yeah, I can't stop playing that game either.
Well, puzzle games can be surprisingly addictive. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's the thing. I mean, if people actually, I started to hide notifications while I was playing some games I have on Steam, just because. Well, not because I'm ashamed. It's just that it's more along the lines of I don't really want to see people having what's the name, that clicker game, seeing me playing that all the time.
That clicker game?
Yeah, what's it called? I have it in the library because I got it for free.
I'm waiting to hear the name.
Yeah, Sakura Clicker.
I was kind of afraid of that.
Yeah, I haven't really started it up, but because I am afraid, because yeah, I don't need more than 3 addictive games at the same time. I need to sleep too, damn it.
I heard it's just like a Patreon ad, more or less.
Yeah, but anyway, so yeah, a lot of Fantasy Life, a lot of Honey Pop, and yes, I don't play the censored version. If people need to know, I'm not spending a lot of time on those puzzles. I want to get some kind of good reward.
Right. I understand.
Yeah, so that's what I've been up to lately, and as usual, the regular amount of War Thunder. I'm starting to look into playing Rust again and Shadowrun, but I just don't have the time.
There's no time.
Yeah. Oh, also, I managed to. I have all my guitars back home now.
Right.
So that's nice too. Maybe not the kind of playing you were thinking about, but I've been spending a lot of time on these things. Well, that's what I do most in the evenings, just because, well, no one really needs to listen to me playing.
Well, yeah, you've shown a bit of right. You've shown off a bit of your like guitar playing ability on the forums. Yeah, so.
Yeah. If you would call it playing and not more like horrible noise, I try to string together into something that resembles music.
I don't know. Your Wily Castle theme cover was pretty good.
No, thank you. I'm still working on refining that a little. I got my I call it my more heavy guitar, the Explorer. It had humbuckers in it, so it managed to take distortion a bit better than my single coil Stratocaster.
Right.
And Tazy goes, right, he just smiles and backs. And it's...
I'm sorry. The only experience I had with guitars was the fact that I think, that like my dad had like one guitar, and I think we still have it. It's like in the closet.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Unfortunately, my sister was more of a piano person, and I never got into music playing, so here I am.
Yeah, and the organ I have in the corner is... I have a accordion layout on the buttons on it, which means that for me to actually be able to play it and without thinking about what I'm doing, I need to strap that thing on my around my waist, and it's like, I think it weighs about 5 kilos. It's made in the beginning when they started emulating organs, electrical organs. So this big piece of wood copper and wiring.
And you have to wear it to play it.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, well, to be able to play it, so I don't have to think about it, because I'm used to have the layout in standing up form. Now it's flat in front of me, and I can't play it and look at it at the same time. I just mix it up in my head. So yeah. And besides that, the regular amount of Daily War Thunder. I've been looking into some nifty software here and there. Especially it's called TeamViewer. It's a simple program so I can remotely control my computers. I run the program on both computers. I get a password I get a new password every time I restart the program, and every time if I feel like logging into it, I can do that. So I had this idea of rigging off my camera to see how the weather was going to be last weekend. So I spent time setting this program up and everything, and made sure that the computer was on and everything, that no update will cause it to restart. So I go away for the weekend. I get down to the apartment, and all of a sudden, when I turn on the camera, I realize I forgot to move the bloody camera. So I'm standing looking at my bedroom wall. And that's after maybe an hour of, maybe not an hour, but 30 minutes of just setting things up and making sure that nothing is going to fail because I have a program requiring a computer restart. I fall on the bloody camera just not being pointed in the right direction.
The tiniest misstep can ruin your whole thing.
Yeah. Oh, yes, I felt a bit bad about that. So yeah, I know the topic you wanted to speak about was Mario Maker, and the problem here is that I haven't played Mario Maker.
It's kind of in general. I was kind of sorry about that, but mostly it's just kind of this interest. It's this sort of thing that interests me, kind of.
I think it interests a lot of people because apparently Nintendo's making the big money on selling that game.
Well, not just Mario Maker, but kind of like what interests me about this sort of game, and like it's this idea of being able to see what people think is good level design. But it's I to be fair, I have Little Big Planet 1 and 2 because of that same idea. Like the idea that seeing people making their own levels and then like trying to play them yourself and seeing, oh well, yeah, like like to see like the sort of difference between people, say like this is what makes good level design. No, it's this. It's making it hard. It's making it like full of like platforms and like how they figure out puzzles and working around the game mechanics.
Yeah. From what I when I look at it, I haven't played it. It's like you basically have a easy Super Mario World ROM hack, but it's not just Super Mario World. It's like Super Mario Bros. And Super Mario World, Super Mario Brothers 3, and New Super Mario Brothers.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. But it is interesting how the to be fair, Super Mario Maker, it kind of had like an audience going into it. Like there was already like there's already a pretty active like hacking community when it comes to like at the very least Super Mario World, if not like actually all 4 Mario games in a sense kind of have this hacking community going around. There was like a newer Super Mario Brothers like going around like shortly after New Super Mario Brothers Wii's release or something, if I remember that right.
Okay.
There was obviously a very popular Super Mario World group like going on, and like Super Mario Brothers like hacking was made pretty popular, if only because of that one video about Super Mario Frustration that like some guy did a video of. And I did see a Super Mario Brothers 3 hack before, so if anything, people have at least messed around in each of the 4 games featured on Mario Maker. If they're a little bit more basic, it does kind of I do feel that it brings this sort of attitude that good game design equals difficult game design, or level wise. And that it's kind of interesting in the sense that works in Mario levels because there's not a lot you have to worry about in Mario games. You just have to jump, shoot at enemies, or like, in the very rarest case, take an item somewhere from one place to another.
Yeah.
But like, alternatively, you can play levels in Little Big Planet, but when it comes to Little Big Planet, that sort of thing is easier to make, and there's a lot more creativity you can make in it, but the platforming's not as assured. One thing, or it's not as easy to plan out. Like, you can't measure jumps and be like, okay, I can put it here, but not here. A part of that is because you can't like go in and out of testing your level like you can in Super Mario Maker. So you do have to like basically play up to a certain point in the level to test a certain part of it in like Little Big Planet. So I guess
so you can't jump into the levels in Little Big Planet and just see if does this work, and when you realize that it doesn't work, you need to exit and start to rebuild and then play up to that point again and see if it works.
I guess you like put your spawn point in a certain spot, but it's not as easy as it is in Super Mario Maker is what I'm getting. So
yeah.
A lot of it is as a result. If you were to do the same thing in like that you have in Super Mario Maker, where they're like, here, have another level where they just kind of throw levels at you, and like they do in like the challenge mode in Mario Maker. If they did that in Little Big Planet, I feel like the stages would be a lot easier because a lot of it relies on the physics engine, and the physics engine can be very finicky if you don't respect it. I've seen certain parts of like I've been to levels where certain parts of the the background get crushed between like other pieces without warning, and like there have been a couple instances I think where doing that caused a level to be unwinnable in Little Big Planet. But so as a result, it's not that easy to make like a difficult level in Little Big Planet, because you can't like test it over and over a certain spot to make sure that it's actually doable. Also, no, I'm pretty sure you do have to beat the level in, I don't know, I forgot how the rules go in Little Big Planet, but I do know that like a lot of the levels were pretty much like it's a big flat area and then they just shower you in like random things as you go across the screen, or like here's like this building we made, and then like at the very end it's just like the end of the level. So Little Big Planet levels were kind of like more like walk from left to right. In Mario Maker, a lot of the stages are surprisingly like difficult if you like.
Yeah, but are they difficult in the fact that they are design difficult, or do they just throw stuff at you to make it difficult? I would guess that there's a fair amount of both.
Well, that depends on how many Lockatus you like in your level. 1, 2, 20, 100. One of them actually being Bowser.
Wait.
Then you just have to have fun going all the way to the flagpole.
What do you mean with Bowser can be a Lakitu?
No, I don't think you can put Bowser on top of a Lakitu. Maybe you can put a Lakitu on top of Bowser. I have no idea. I do know you can.
I think you need to elaborate here. What do you mean with put? I have only seen a bit of gameplay just for research. I actually don't know anything about creating the levels.
Well, one of the things that makes Mario Maker, at the very least, a little bit different from most of the other Mario games is the fact that you can stack enemies. And not only enemies, you can also stack, like... Well, you can stack, like, a bunch of things if you try. Like, you can put a stack of... You can put, like, a stack of 6 Goombas, one on top of the other, and then you, like, place it in your stage, and then, like, you have to... Well... Yeah, you have to, like, deal with that. And you can also put different enemies on top of one another. Like, for instance, you can put Koopa on top of a Goomba on top of a Hammer Brother if you wanted.
And put that, and just to really top it off, you have a Spiny on top of it so you can jump on them.
Now you're getting it.
I just see this going, people going, yeah, I'm gonna be a dick and make this horrible, horrible level.
Well, the problem is you have to beat it yourself if you want to upload it. People do try to create, like, this sort of easy path for themselves so they can just beat it without having to actually deal with their stupid, difficult nonsense. But other people can also find it if they get lucky. And with the comment system, you can basically, while you do have to start a level to comment, you can guide people to actually get through the stage just as easily.
Ah, okay.
And that does get kind of important because one of the important things about in that game, aside from, to be fair, you don't have to play any stages to unlock the editing, to unlock, like, the things you need to make your levels for the most part. The only thing you need to do the only thing you need to beat stages for are costumes. And costumes are done by, like, this new object called the Mystery Mushroom. Where, like, if you get it, you turn into, like, a different character, like Zamus, or an Animal Crossing character, or Luigi.
Ah, okay.
So, mostly the draw is that they look different. They kind of, when they jump, they make different sound effects. They have, and, like, when they complete the stage, it's, yeah.
Yeah, I noticed that, like, Samus have her, I don't remember if she can make fireballs, but I know that the jump sound changed, and I know Mega Man had this other jump sound too.
None of the characters have a projectile.
Ah, okay.
By the way. But the thing is, in order to unlock one, you have to go through the 100 Mario Challenge, which is depending on your difficulty, they give you a series of stages randomly picked from, like, a group that have a set win percentage. So, like, if it's most people have beaten the stage, it's shuffled off to easy. If it's from, like, a certain amount where it's, like, from easy to expert, it's, like, normal. And expert's, like, in the very low percentage where very few people have beaten a certain stage or not.
Oh.
So the really hard ones. The good news is you can skip any stage you want. So if you see the first 5 seconds of the stage and it's like you see a horde of Locatus coming down on you, you can go like, nope, and skip that one.
Nope, not this one. Next.
Of course, the problem can be that you might get stuck on a, like, you do have to beat a certain number of stages in order to get to the end and the costume in question. And the other problem is you can only get costumes from the easy and normal difficulties a set number of times. So eventually, you have to go through expert, you have to go through expert a lot in order to get all of the costumes. You don't need the costumes. And also, you can unlock them if you get amiibos, like a bunch of amiibos. But if you don't have them, this is the only way to actually get mystery mushrooms and use said mystery mushrooms in your stages. You can use mystery mushrooms that other people have gotten and used in their stages. You don't get locked off from them.
Ah, okay.
But to get them yourself, you have to... No, to get them yourself, you have to play through the expert stage. You have to play through the 100 Mario Challenge. It's an interesting way to go about it.
Yeah.
And I don't hate it, so it's fine.
And if I remember correctly, you can unlock all the costumes just playing the game, which I think is a great thing. Take
Yeah.
note, Electronic Arts.
But yeah,
Uh, my thought about the game is that it really shows people that good game design is hard.
oh, absolutely, without a doubt.
I mean, you can. Well, I think in theory you can just throw out a couple of blocks out there and call it a level and just make it go to the finishing flagpole. But to actually make a decently good level, I think you're gonna need to challenge yourself to make them. But if you go with the standards of what Nintendo themselves with the stages they have done over the years, because I can look back and think that I don't know any stage done by Nintendo that really feel unbeatable.
Yeah. To be fair,
Spanning from Super Mario Brothers to new Super Mario Brothers Wii.
yeah, they do have to like play through the game a whole bunch of times and figure out what works and what doesn't.
Yeah.
And a lot of people are usually like, for the most part, they're kind of like they just make a stage in like an afternoon and then like upload it. So unless you're like really good at it.
Yeah. But that's a thought I really like. The fact that if people start playing this, they start to get a better grasp of what good level design is. So it's kind of like Penn and Teller. They show you the tricks just so you can appreciate it more.
Right.
And I'm bringing in Penn and Teller into video game discussion. I know it isn't that far off, but still, it's not a connection I thought I would do today.
Well, you never know where you're gonna take your references from.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, I would love to actually play the game and try to make a couple of levels, but as I said, I have
very little time.
No, not only very little time. I don't own a Wii U, and my next upgrade when it comes to game consoles is actually getting a bigger 3DS, because
right.
I noticed when I did that car trip that me handling small objects for about 3 hours straight makes for really cramping hands.
Right, I know how that feels sometimes.
And I don't know if it is with age or that my hands are in fact bigger than they were when I bought the game, but it's just that I have problems holding it properly, and I get tired.
I have to sit properly if I just like lay on the ground and hold it like a little
my favorite playing position is right now in my in this actual chair, putting my elbows on the elbow rests and holding my hands on the table, where it works decently. The problem is if I'm somewhere else, if I put them, I have a hard time just finding a comfortable position to hold it for a long time.
right.
So I think that if I got a bigger the bigger 3DS, I would part one I wouldn't have such a horrible pain in my hand for playing it too long, and I think it would be easier to find a comfortable position because I don't need to have my hands kind of really close together.
Yeah, well,
It's a thought. I don't know if it were actually going to work, but I'm going with it.
Well, I've been meaning to think about upgrading myself a little bit. A little bit. I don't. I suppose I should wait for a game that might actually be interested in. It seems like all of the new 3DS exclusive games are like remakes, all of them. Which I guess is the point because they want to show how much more the 3DS can do. But I already have Majora's Mask, Xenoblade Chronicles, and technically I already have Hyrule Warriors.
Technically.
I mean, I only mean technically because 3DS is supposed to be like, well, you can get all the DLC and like new characters if you get this one, and you can shift them over to the other game if you want.
Yeah, I looked into apparently Hyrule Warriors are going to get a 3DS release too.
Yeah.
So that's something I'm looking forward to.
I don't know. I haven't played too much of Hyrule Warriors yet.
I played a bit of Warriors Orochi, and I find it to be a really entertaining game.
To be, I have like Dynasty Warriors 7 Empire, so I enjoy the Warriors series. It's just that usually I hear like a little bit of differingness between like Hyrule Warriors. Like I hear that it's pretty much just Hyrule Warriors with like a bit of Zelda in it. I also hear that it's pretty like it's actually really difficult to try and beat. So
yeah, I haven't really heard any reviews about it, but it sounds promising. That's what I'm going with.
Right, yeah. From what I've played, it is pretty good, but I only played through like a couple of missions, so that could mean pretty much anything.
Yeah, maybe they don't get harder about the halfway point. I don't know, but it's something I'm looking into to actually get. But apart from that, what I'm really looking forward to right now, that's Fallout 4.
Right.
I don't say that I'm really hyped about the game, but I'm thinking about digging myself a nuclear fallout shelter.
Yeah, obviously.
We have spare iron rods and concrete. I know I can do it.
There's a bit of concern, if only because SmackDown Pete was like he was fully bought into like Fallout 3 when it came out, and also Well, yeah, Fallout 3 at the time. I think he said he played like the game all the way through like several times, just with different characters to see how different he could like go through in each playthrough.
Yeah.
And I know he also got like New Vegas, but that was like later on in life when he didn't have the time to go play through a game like 20 times.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So like he just kind of played it twice, if I remember right. Like he played it once normally, and then he played it like with just the base game, and I think he played it again with the DLC. So
yeah, I have
I think
actually
I
not
pointed this out before.
I haven't played the Fallout games with the DLC.
Neither have I before, really. But Fallout 4 looks pretty good.
It basically for me it brings up a couple of things I really like to have in the previous games. I'm just gonna see if they actually gonna let me ride a motorcycle this time, or at least, because that's what I kind of miss with the old Fallout games. That I know the map wasn't actually that much bigger. The thing was that the wasteland in between were just this big empty filled with horrible things that would probably kill you.
Rat scorpions here and rat scorpions there. Rat scorpions everywhere.
Yeah, and about 20 of them.
Yeah.
On every map. So yeah, that was an just so I don't mean that you should have a big full-size car, but a motorcycle that you can store your things just for a quick get around instead for fast traveling. That would be nice.
Yeah, I can see what you mean there. Apparently, it's supposed to be like you're supposed to build your own base in this one.
Yeah, I know.
Is right.
And,
so
I really would like to do that too. just because I mean, you're out there alone in the wasteland, and you always kind of want to have a base of operations. So it's going to be interesting to see how they manage to build up the gameplay around that part of the game. It can be horrible, it can be great. I don't know yet.
Well, it's a Bethesda game, so it's gonna be enjoyable.
Absolutely. No doubt. I have still actually yet to play a Bethesda game that isn't fun to play.
People do kind of like, they do kind of like nag on them a bit because they're like, they make games really big, but they don't bug check very well.
Well,
but the thing is, like, they make good games. You can't deny it.
Well, I can't deny it, and I don't know much people that actually can.
I suppose the most you would say is like, yeah, these games are way too big for me, and I wouldn't want to like invest so much time in a game that's gonna be like meant to never end, or like meant to be so big that you can find like you take you like a long time to get across the map normally.
Yeah.
But that's more of a preference thing and not like an objective thing, like the controls don't work or it like doesn't work right at certain times. There are very rare times where I've had an instance where a Bethesda game like did something that kind of like really bothered me a bit.
Okay. Well, I had parts of the game bother me too, but then again, I realized that later when I played it properly, because I was skipping a part in Skyrim, and I just went straight for the exit. It was this long, convoluted hall of death and horribleness. What I didn't realize was that in the middle of this corridor was a checkpoint. So when I went straight to the door, the game didn't know what to do, so it didn't spawn the my companions that was going with me. So I got stuck in there because I fucked up, and instead of hitting quick reload, I pressed quick save, and all of a sudden I couldn't. The only place I could revert to was like 2 levels back.
Oh, that's pretty nasty there.
Yeah, but then again, I couldn't blame the game because it was me that was stupid.
Fair enough. The only thing I can think of that came to mind is like this when I was playing Oblivion, and like it's this quest where you have to where this woman like tells you that her husband went off somewhere and she can't find him, and I think like someone tells you he was like on an island and you need to go over there or something. It's like a death trap island. And the thing is, I didn't go and talk to the woman after I talked to the guy, being like, "Hey, we need to go to the island. Make sure you have everything taken care of before you go over there." I didn't talk to her, so I went to the island, got stuck in its traps, had to go all the way around, went back to the mainland, and I didn't get a reward because I didn't talk to her.
Oh. Yeah. Well, then again, they make big games, so. I can understand if they miss one thing or another, and to be fair, some of the bugs are hilarious.
Yeah.
My favorite, the one I can think of on top of my head is the poor guy that was he got his head blown off, but he wasn't. The game didn't recognize him as killed, so it was the horrible mess that was his head was just kind of hovering above his the rest of the body.
He's merely pretending to be dead. Merely pretending.
Oh yeah, that one. Yeah, and armor there, head is in pieces 10 meters away, and the legs we shouldn't even talk about. Yeah, he's merely pretending.
An excellent ruse.
Yeah, also that I think I looked into that a bit more, and I think That has to do with the perk Bloody Mess. Because everything... It's not just you, it's everything just makes everything explode in tiny red bloody bits.
Right.
So I think the game just went, yeah, that's a critical hit, and just exploded them everywhere. And I just had to analyze that because I thought it was a interesting glitch, because I haven't had that happen for me. But then again, I haven't had the Bloody Mess perk active.
There's a lot of things that like you catch other people like uploading videos about, but you never see. I have seen the illustrious like flying spider corpse before, but like other than that, like I never get anything that's really weird in like in that Bethesda game. It's mostly just I see it from other people.
Oh, okay,
Which-
yeah.
Fair enough.
And that also makes me wonder that does people encounter these bugs in regular gameplay, or do they see it on the internet and complain for them? I know some games have problems that everyone encounter, but these major glitches, I mean, do everyone encounter them?
It's kind of hard to tell.
Yeah, because when I tried to think of, as I said, the only thing I can remember is this poor guy with his head blown out running around. But that's like the only major thing I can come up that I've been through during regular gameplay.
Yeah, like I can kind of see it for the most part. But you did. It's a game that's like 80 hours long with a giant like space of time. Almost no open world game can get away with like being completely glitchless.
Yeah, that's true. But hey, that's why I still kind of love Grand Theft Auto San Andreas. It's a stable game,
Right.
but sometimes you just manage to do stupid shit.
You get to the top of a mountain and then there's like just a helicopter that flies right at you and then disappears.
Yeah. Yeah, so we have about 8 minutes of recording time left. Anything else you want to bring up?
Dr. Luigi is difficult.
Okay. I didn't even know about... No, yeah, I've seen about the game, but I didn't actually know about it.
I don't know, that just came up into my head. That was just like one of the games I bought with like my Nintendo points when Club Nintendo was shutting down. I just like took a bunch of points and just bought a bunch of stuff with it.
Okay.
But Dr. Luigi was one of them. And to be fair, like there's like 3 modes. There's Operation L, which is just like you have to deal with like L-shaped vitamin pieces throughout the stage, like as you play through the game. There's Retro Remedy, which is just the normal game, it seems, and Virus Buster, which is you playing the game with the touch controls. And the Retro Remedy and the Operation L are they're not like easy, but they're pretty simple to figure out. Retro Remedy like kicks you in the face almost immediately. Like the speed is ridiculous. Like last night, like I was playing a little bit because I wanted to at least make some progress past level 20. And like both the like my roommates were basically amazed at the crazy speed Dr. Luigi was like throwing the pills back into the bottle. It's like, Dr. Luigi, stop. He can only take so many pills.
He's going to OD. Calm down. Oh. Yeah, I don't really have anything to add, really. More than fuck the Russian planes on War Thunder, because I'm starting to get up in tears when I go against the Yak 9s. And
To the people who know what they're doing.
yeah, no, it's more on the lines of this thing fires hot, almost. It must be about 20 or 30 millimeter rounds at you, and one hit in the right place makes you plane go boom and split
Literal
into,
Grim Reapers in a gun.
yeah. It's one of those. If they get a lucky shot on you, you're dead. If they get a half decent shot at you, you're dead. They aren't as bad as they were some time ago when they could fly straight through buildings and not and take damage, but wouldn't actually crash.
What in the hell?
Yeah.
Were these things made from Hanzo steel?
No, they were made from Stalinium.
All right.
Yeah,
Close enough.
So they are still a bit too sturdy for my liking. But the problem is with War Thunder is that you shouldn't take these things too seriously. At least not in arcade. The thing is that I only play arcade because I don't find realistic all that entertaining at the moment. I know they're trying to remedy that. But anyway, so you basically have this flying tank shooting Grim Reapers at you. And they are heavy planes, so they dive good. The problem is that apparently they also turn they can also turn on a dime. So they're a bit too effective and a bit unbalanced. But it's Gaijin. They have a bit of balancing isn't there. They aren't
strong suit.
Strong suit, and they well, it is. It's just that it takes them a horrible long time to actually fix the problems.
I get you.
Yeah. So, and they're off doing other stuff, and apparently they have a not small, but they aren't prioritized in the bug fixing and the flight model, looking into the flight models and all that stuff.
So you're saying they are much like their logo, a slow slug. They'll get there.
Yeah, they'll get there. I think so.
Eventually.
Because it's a fun game still. I love to go up against them because it feels all the more satisfying when I actually shoot one of those people down. But when they get those lucky shots, I get a bit pissed.
Right, I get you.
Yeah. Yeah, and we managed to fill those minutes out. Any closing words?
Hopefully I'll have beaten Pokemon Blue by the time this next podcast comes up, or I'm gonna look like a fool.
Yeah, and hopefully I don't work as much when we talk next time, and we'll hopefully won't be delayed again.
Yeah, we can only hope.
Yeah. We have a winning streak with just missing this, so why break the tradition?
Plenty of reasons.
Yeah, that's true. There was a joke in there somewhere I was going with, but I kind of lost it along the way.
You can pick it up later.
Yeah, probably. English language and grammar. Why do you torture me so? Okay, that's enough for tonight, I think. So, I think it's time to say bye-bye. Say goodbye, Tazy.
Goodbye, Tazy.
You just had to do that, didn't you? Goodbye.